Philippines. Good afternoon, good evening, America. This is your regular broadcast once again. Um, Bar Eric, please share screen the thumbnail. So our topic is about Masonic America. So before anything else, let's play some music related to the song. Make this
Redemption sacrifice, now glorified, now justified, His kingdom come, and His kingdom will know no end, and His glory shall know no bound. Majesty and power of His kingdom's King has come, and His kingdom's reign, and His kingdom's rule, and His kingdom's power and authority. Jesus, God's righteousness, Jesus, the expression of God's love, the grace of God, the word of God reveals to us. God's holiness is praised, not glorified, not justified. His kingdom
let's take this one off before. God bless for the song. And before we begin our question and answer, let's have an opening prayer. Can I request anyone in the room to give us an opening prayer? Can I request anyone in the room for an opening prayer? Bar Eric, hello. Please give us an opening prayer.
Hey, let's pray, Brother Francis. I'm here. Hello, Brother Francis.
Yes, yes, yes. I
Clear?
can hear you. I can hear. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let us pray. And we are live now, even myself live in the Kogyo in Time series. So let's start our morning devotion. Father God, we come to thee by the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. And we ask your Holy Spirit to come to us and each and every one of us as we broadcast the topic Masonic America. Open our eyes and our understanding. And before we start, Lord, may you cleanse us whatever weaknesses, wrongdoings, in thought, in mind, in indeed. May you forgive us, cleanse us, that we may worthy to hear thy word by your Holy Spirit. Bless each one of us, Lord, as we study thy word about the topic. And this is all things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. So, okay, we are now live.
If no
Right,
one
Brother
has any
Francis?
question, yes, yes. If no one has any question, I will play a. I'm gonna look for the video I saw a while ago. The video about masonry in America. I lost the video a while ago. So, are there anyone who wish to ask any question? So, I think this is this Masonic tribute to the Masons who were presidents. Okay, I'm gonna play this. So you may prepare your questions while the video is being played.
Brother Francis, good morning to all.
Yes, yes. Who is this?
This is Sister Leticia. I have a
Yes, yes.
question first. What is a Freemasonry and what do Freemasons believe? Are they the same or different?
This is a pseudo religious.
Okay.
This is not exactly religious. This is pseudo. That means to say it is a little bit political. This is somewhat earthly, like the Rotary clubs, like that. If you know some Rotary clubs or some foundations like that that want to do good for humankind, like that, charitable organization. So Freemasonry is like a fraternity of brothers. So what is better for you is a uh, oops. What what is better is for you to you're looking at the illustration of screen shared by Bar Eric. Um, these are some of the highlights of the Masonic influence in America, and of course, America influences the whole world. So I hope I can. I did not prepare a video which introduces Masonry. I'm gonna look for a short video that gives some short introduction. Okay, let's play this Masonic tribute to the Masons. The video is not playing. Okay. Brother Eric, could you search Masonic America also? The video I clicked did
I
not play. Okay.
I have
Watch
Brother
together.
Francis,
Watch
but
together. Watch
what's
together.
together? But it's
Yes, yes.
not seen by the live, Brother Francis. That's our
Yeah, 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 yeah,
problem.
yeah.
So the live
Well, no,
now, if
sometimes it can
we
be seen. Sometimes it can be seen. I think if others will play, it could easily be seen because sometimes my signal is bad. Even if it's showing here, it's not showing there. But if someone will play it,
it
let
must be
I,
seen, Brother Francis, but the sound is not captured by the live. So our live
uh,
must vacant or all it is the span of time when the video is scoped by 5 minutes, then our live will gap by 5 minutes. That's our problem.
no,
So
no,
I
we can
rather
easily
to
check it right now. We can easily check it right now if it will be seen in the series. Okay, we can monitor. We can monitor. Okay, I'm gonna play another video because the earlier video did not work. This is for Sister Letitia's understanding. She does not know. Anyone in the room can answer. Brother Noel, Brother Rasha, could you give, before I play the video, could you give a short answer to Sister Letitia? What is Masonry?
Uh, I think the best person to kind of like give us a light about Freemasonry is Brother Nash, but he is not here. But basically, what I know about Freemasonry is that it is an organization that um, that worships Satan. You know, so they have um, they have practices that they would worship Satan. So all I know is that it is the enemy of the Catholic Church.
Okay, so let me try this video again. Okay, this is not working. Let me try another video. The video I'm trying to play is Masonic tribute to the Masons who were presidents. Okay, let's look for another video. Illuminati. Okay.
Masons and Illuminati closed all the lodges 2 years after their rise to power. Perhaps they did so because they were worried about the great power the Brotherhood seemed to have. And at the time, French Freemasonry boasted around 630 lodges, with some 75,000 followers.
Nor did it help their public image when by the end of the 18th century, the detested Order of the Illuminati of Bavaria had infiltrated most of their lodges. Since then, Freemasonry has been suspected of conspiring to seize world power.
The Order of the
so it
Illuminati
is not
was
captured by
created
the
by a
live, Brother
Bavarian
Francis,
citizen,
even though you
Adam
play a
Weishaupt,
song.
in 1776. Highly opinionated.
What did you say, Brother Eric?
Not
What did you
captured by
say?
the live.
Uh, so please monitor
And
if it can be seen. Okay.
and it can be seen, but the audio is not heard.
Okay. Okay. I'll continue. I'll continue. Just for let me just.
Highly opinionated and a true megalomaniac, Weishaupt aspired to dissolve all forms of government, ban religions, abolish private property, and create a new world order under his
This
unified command.
opportunity to invite other.
He effected infiltration tactics in Freemasonry, and so managed to spread his organization across almost all of Europe, and some even believe North America too. To stop the infection, many monarchs decided to proscribe Freemasonry altogether. The Order of the Illuminati was officially banned in 1790, but its participation in subsequent events is highly likely, and many believe it is still operative today.
In spite of the Illuminati episode, Freemasonry gained prestige and continued to expand its membership. Important historical figures would soon join its ranks.
Learned men, nobles, bourgeoisie, the military. Freemasonry has gained prestige and attracted free thinkers who lurked in the shadows. Their meetings were organized by means of hidden signs. The identity of the masters was only known to those who had come up through the ranks. The result of their actions left practically no traces in history. But their presence was definitely real. Its influence was strongly felt in the Americas, infiltrating the highest circles of civilian and military power. Freemasons played crucial roles in the liberation of both the British and Spanish American colonies. The USA is perhaps Freemasonry's most outstanding legacy. Its national symbols are loaded with Masonic messages.
A partial list of the most famous Freemasons in history will help us perceive the true importance of this secret society and how it has influenced history.
The banker, Nathan Mayer Rothschild, the musician Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and the German poet Goethe were all Freemasons. Britain was particularly prolific in producing famous Freemasons. English kings George V, William IV, Edward VII and VIII, and George VI. Also English politicians George Canning, Cecil Rhodes and Winston Churchill, the inventor of penicillin Sir Alexander Fleming, writers Alexander Pope, Edward Gibbon, Sir Walter Scott, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Rudyard Kipling, plus dozens of the generals, admirals and air marshals. Even actor Peter Sellers was a Freemason. The United States does not lag behind. Most of their founding fathers, judges, congressmen, senators, and generals were Freemasons. Also American presidents Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry Truman, Lyndon B. Johnson, and Gerald Ford. The director of the American nuclear program, Vannevar Bush, the director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, Henry Ford, and also Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple Computers, all were Freemasons. In South America, figures like Simon Bolivar, San Martin, and Benito Juarez were also Freemasons. And the list just goes on and on.
The importance and popularity that Freemasonry acquired earned it more bloodthirsty enemies than the Catholic Church. Paradoxically, the bloodiest and most effective persecution launched against Freemasonry came from another excommunicated group, the Bolsheviks.
Freemasonry actually survived the first stages of the Russian Revolution and was tolerated until 1922, when the Fourth International decreed that it was an ideology incompatible with communism. At that point, some lodges were disbanded and others went underground. In 1926, a strange request from Mason Boris Askolan to Joseph Stalin to allow Masonry to operate under official sanction resulted in the arrest, torture, and imprisonment of known Masons. Freemasonry disappeared totally during the remaining years of Soviet rule. Astronov himself was detained, interrogated, and died soon after his release. Freemasonry disappeared, or survived in the shadows. The first Russian lodge to operate freely again was the Harmony Lodge. And that did not happen until as recently as 1992.
In the 20th century, Freemasonry would suffer not only the persecution from the Bolsheviks, but also from the Nazis. It was in this century that the term Jewish Masonic was coined, and the most daring conspiracy theories saw the light. How much truth there is in all this? How much is straightforward anti-Semitism? Why has Freemasonry attracted throughout the ages the wrath of established powers like a lightning rod? The 20th century was not kind to Freemasonry. During the communist era, it was banned in all of Eastern Europe and the Soviet Union. Its lodges dissolved, its libraries destroyed, its members pursued and imprisoned. It fared no better in Nazi Germany.
In Mein Kampf, Hitler proclaimed that Freemasonry had been infiltrated by the Jews, and that it was now their instrument. He wrote that the pacifist feelings, the paralysis of the nationalist instinct, were the result of Masonic manipulations. He gave early impetus to what would soon become a long list of anti-Semitic accusations against Freemasonry. Hitler dissolved all the lodges in Germany and accused Freemasonry of conspiring with the Jews to establish a world republic, similar to what the Illuminati had postulated more than 100 years before. In 1935, Goebbels accused 300 members of the Jewish race and Masonic conspirators of having allowed the USSR to enter the League of Nations. 2 years later, he opened an anti-Masonic exhibition that displayed incriminatory objects. In the Nazi concentration camps, Freemasons had to wear a distinctive red inverted triangle. It is estimated that in Nazi Germany and its occupied territories, between 80 and 200,000 Freemasons were murdered. In 1924, in Italy, Mussolini decreed that fascists had to choose between being fascists or Freemasons, and the following year he ordered the dissolution of Freemasonry.
The supposed relationship between Judaism and Freemasonry that both Nazis and fascists decried was never proven, but served to stoke racial hatred. The fact remains that Freemasonry was born in the very heart of Christian societies, and only after a number of centuries had passed did it accept Jews as well as Muslims or anyone who believed in a superior being. A detail that went unnoticed or was simply ignored by both Hitler and Mussolini.
Franco's Spain was also an important setting for anti-Masonic persecutions. During the dictatorship of Francisco Franco, Freemasons were tortured and executed without trial all over the country. Freemasonry only became legal again after the death of the dictator in 1975. In more recent times, Saddam Hussein introduced the death penalty in Iraq for those who promote or support Zionist principles, including Freemasonry.
What does this tell us about Freemasonry? Judging on the quality of its enemies, there's not much to add. But what about Freemasonry today?
At present, it is estimated there are still between 4 and 6 million active Masons distributed among some 100,000 lodges worldwide. Most lodges are now a sort of social club where charity, ancestral rites, secrets, curious clothes, and even bingo competitions and theme parties coexist. Masons no longer hide their membership to the Brotherhood. They even boast bumper stickers that clearly identify them. Most even have their own web pages. They also donate huge amounts of money to charity. The main problem today is that the young have little or no interest in joining their ranks. Perhaps Freemasonry is being defeated by time. Its ancient liturgy, its moral principles, its opposition to religious authorities will become less and less important as time goes on. It sits uneasily in a culture attuned to postmodernism and the internet, virtual games, individualistic cults, or the insatiable consumer society, where the advancement of a man and spirituality have little place. Perhaps their waning also has to do with their reluctance to accept women outside ancillary lodges for ladies. A stubborn archaism that still persists.
Perhaps the last and greatest Masonic accomplishment of the 20th century has been the routing of Hitler and Nazism. Roosevelt, Truman, Churchill, King George VI, General Bradley, MacArthur and Marshall, all of them were Masons. Many years have passed since then. However, there are still some events that can be ascribed to Freemasonry, flickers of life that tell us that the giant may only be sleeping.
In 1997, British Labour MP Chris Mullin launched a bitter attack on Freemasonry. Mullin was convinced that police Freemasons bestowed special privileges on criminal Freemasons. There was a lot of hysteria in the British press, but in the end, nothing was ever proven. In the National Assembly of Wales, it has been obligatory since 1999 for parliamentary Freemasons to reveal their status. Judges and the police have been asked to do so voluntarily.
So if Freemasonry today is just a tawdry social club, why did Saddam Hussein persecute them? While in the United Kingdom they forced Freemason policemen and judges to reveal themselves as Masons. Two countries ideologically at loggerheads who've recently waged war once shared a common enemy. Is it simply because Freemasons are an easy target for politicians?
Freemasonry has always been characterized by its shape-shifting abilities, for having a low profile, and for going underground at the right time. This strategy has reaped them splendid rewards for centuries. New names, new ways, new members. It wouldn't be at all impossible that they could be applying those same tactics today.
Can a society that has influenced the most important events and attracted key historical figures simply fade out of existence? Is it possible that this new silence, this apparent senility, is simply concealing a change of plans and strategies? Our daily life is often affected by decisions that are unknown to us, and Freemasons might still be behind them, without us even suspecting it. Not to mention the powerful manipulation exercised by the media, much of which is in the hands of Masonic brethren. Is it not right to wonder through which channels Freemasonry's subtle messages reach us?
Okay, I think the video is over. Okay, so much for that. I think our resource person I saw Brother Nash a while ago. Is he still in the room?
He's still in the room, but I think he's kind of like inactive, but he's in the room.
Okay. So let me give him time to ready himself. Brother Eric, please share some pictures, and please share some pictures. Let's begin with from where they claim they started. They claim it starts with Solomon's temple. Do you have a picture of that? Hiram Abiy of the Solomon temple. Some speculates it's King Hiram of Tyre, but in their narrative, it is one of the masons of the Solomonic temple. But Eric, can you share some pictures
Yeah,
on that?
but about Solomon, none.
You did not have that. Okay. So there was some workers who killed Hiram Abiy, the worker in the temple, for refusing to reveal the secret. There's some, shall say, esoteric secret there. And Solomon was recognized by others as a sorcerer who controls demons. Maybe he used the demons in building the temple, supposedly. Those are some of the stories. But since there's no pictures on that, let's move on to the Templars. So please share the picture on the Knights Templars. Who were their Knights Templars? During the Crusades, the Knights Templars, so that's the present day. The dollar bill is the present day. Philippine Monument, Rizal, that's a present day. Before we get to that, who are the Knights Templars? So if you have some pictures related to that period of time, they joined the Crusades to protect the pilgrims going to the Holy Land. They became so rich as being bankers because it's not safe to bring money with you. There are many bandits along the way. So in protecting the pilgrims and being a banker, they've grown rich. But it's not just that. They have supposedly have excavated many relics, and some even claim the Ark of the Covenant. Okay, they have grown so rich that after the Crusades, of course, they were driven out by the Muslims. But in Europe, they've become rich bankers. Switzerland is rumored, Portugal's rumored to be countries that came from them. But something happened. They were very predominant in the whole of Europe. But there was a time there were persecutions by the Catholic Church against the Knights Templars. As you saw in the video a while ago, like the Freemasons were being persecuted by in Russia by the communists and by the Nazis and maybe some other countries. Later, someone told me about the Jesuits. So, but was Sispu or Brother Nash can fill it up. So, from the Knights Templars, they were persecuted and they were accused of many demonic rituals. Okay, so just flash around the pictures about that. And the Pope with the King of France conspired to have them eliminated. Some of them escaped to England, then they escaped to America. If you know the documentary, The Curse of Oak Island, they supposedly buried treasures or the Ark of the Covenant in Oak Island. So they escaped. Some of the countries that were a result of their banking system, they were hiding out of sight was Portugal, and the Swiss banks are one of their descendants. Now, moving on, then the organization of the Freemasonry began. Now, what is the spirit of Freemasonry? Maybe you can show some pictures. They call God the great grand architect of the universe. Well, there's nothing bad about that. But there is hedonism, or let's just say there is this liberalism. If during the Dark Ages, the Catholic Church persecuted those who would want to have a separate independent church, Masonry espouses the go back to the degrees of Masonry. Nimrod, the degrees of Masonry. If you have that, Brother Eric. Oh, I only asked for the pictures of America. So later we're going to talk about America and how it affects the whole world and how it affects Bible prophecy. So what we are going to show is what are the background aspects of this Masonry. It's if you look at the American motto, brotherhood, equality for all men, it seeks to go against potentates, kings, governments that are biased and discriminatory. Because the Templars were persecuted, there was a time they were persecuted. Their underlying agenda or message is to create equality, to change governments, to shall we say, to the governments that are ruthless, that are discriminatory, that are totalitarian. They want to change that. So, as the video showed, against the King of England, America became independent. It was an idea of these Freemasons. Just as a result, okay, you can show Rizal. He had this idea also. That's why he went against the established Catholic Church. And the Katipuneros, the They had that spirit. But it becomes a combination of mystery religions. Could you show the Egyptian obelisk? You notice in Luneta there is an obelisk, right? The Rizal Monument there. Not the dollar bill. The obelisk. Obelisk, yeah, that's the obelisk. That's the Egyptian obelisk. Isn't that similar to what we see in Luneta? You can flash the Luneta Rizal Monument. And you can show the Katipuneros when they started a secret society. It is along that line, along the spirit of that line. Rizal was influenced by their concept, but their struggle is like struggle against tyranny. Okay. Now, let's go to Washington Monument. You can see another obelisk there. In the Vatican, you can see. I wonder if you have a picture of the Vatican having the obelisk. So,
No
so
Vatican obelisk. No Vatican obelisk. Only
okay,
Washington, Luneta, and we have also Egypt.
okay. So these are a combination of mystery religions and mystery practices from the past. So if you think of Freemasonry, they, as the video showed a while ago, they went undercover. They went undetected. They tried to keep a low profile until one day they can influence governments. So, of course, in influencing government, what we think of America as a Christian country never realized it is founded upon the principles of Freemasonry. Of course, Christians claim America was founded upon the Christian fathers. During that time, the time of Washington, they recognized biblical Christian principles. But Masonry is not just about Christianity. Christianity is just one of the many religions they would recognize as long as you have a God. What if that God is not exactly the God of the Christians? So this is a kind of lukewarmness, a spirit of lukewarmness that will happen upon the world. Later we're going to talk about that in prophecy. Brother Nash, are you ready? Can I interview you right now? Although anyone can contribute to what they know about Masonry. Brother Nash, are you sober right now? Hello? Brother Nash?
Can I make a comment?
Is this Brother Noel?
Yeah,
Okay, please comment for the moment. Yes.
yeah, because if you know Albert Pike, he is
Yes,
the yeah,
Confederate General.
he's a grandmaster,
Yes, yes,
of a Scottish Rite in
yes.
18th century, 19th century, and he is also associated. He is one of the leaders, according to the Washington Post here in United States, um, with the Ku Klux Klan. You know, so
Yes,
um,
yes.
so it says here in position paper issued by the Scottish Rite Freemasons on February 1. I don't know which year. Two books are
Brother Noel, can
discussed.
you share your screen so we can also see that? Can you share your screen, what you're reading?
Yeah. If I
So
have a capability, I think I do.
you just click share screen below
No, it's
the DCC.
I'm kind of like blocked. It says here. Oh no. Hold on. I think I
Click
need to
share
turn.
screen so you,
I think I
so
need to.
others can see the what you're reading and we can all benefit. Yes, your so share the screen in your laptop or in your computer. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Is that you? Okay, so while if you can blow it up, so while you're reading it, others can see it also. I hope
Yeah.
you can blow it up.
Yeah.
Make full screen. Make it full screen.
It,
Okay, continue reading what you're saying.
so this is from Washington Post. It says here, the one that I highlighted, the position paper issued by the Scottish Rite Freemason on February 1st. Two books are discussed at length that disclose Albert Pike's prominent role in founding the KKK. Um, Walter Fleming in 1905, Ku Klux Klan, its origin, growth, and disbandment, a book favorable to the KKK and to Albert Pike, described Mr. Pike as the chief judicial officer. The Fleming's information came directly from Albert Pike's Masonic associates who organized the KKK in Pulaski, Tennessee. The, the book helped the ultra Southern Dr. Fleming win his post as the Dean of Arts and Sciences at Vanderbilt University. Susan Lawrence Davis' 1924 book, Authentic History, Ku Klux Klan, 1865 to 1877, applauded um, Albert Pike's leadership of the KKK and of the Scottish Rite. And the reason why I I I want to mention this because you mentioned that they are also associated with Protestantism here in the United States. And one of the Protestant sect that they have produced is the End Time Church, because here when you see when you see um, Roy Alonzo Davis, it says here Roy Alonzo Davis was leader and founding member of the 1915 Ku Klux Klan. Davis was second degree, second in command of the KKK under William Simon, and later became National Imperial Wizard leader of the original Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. He worked closely with Simmons and was a co-author of the 1921 KKK Constitution, Bylaws, and Rituals. Davis spent decades as a KKK recruiter, at one point being named Royal Ambassador and an official spokesperson of the KKK by Simmons. Davis and Simmons were both expelled from the KKK in 1923 by Hiram Wesley, who had ousted Simmons as leaders. Simmons started the Knights of the Flaming Sword branch of the KKK, and with Davis' help, retained the loyalty of many KKK members. Um, Davis was later reappointed second in command of the National KKK organized by Imperial Wizard Eldon Edwards. And this person, Davis, used religious meetings and revivals as a tool for KKK recruitment and was traveling evangelist and pastor founding churches in Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, Indiana, and Kentucky. In one of his recruits, he baptized and ordained William Branham as a minister in 1921, who served as an elder in his church and participated in Davis revival meetings. So that's what I want to mention.
Thank,
That I think um, the end time prophet William Branham is associated with this group.
okay,
And
thank you for your input.
yeah,
So
welcome.
I wish to answer that for a short, briefly, for a short time, because we have another topic that we're discussing, and I hope to interview Brother Nash because he wished to distinct. He said something, some distinction between the Scottish Rite Freemasons and the American Freemasons. But that later, I'm going to talk about prophecy, the spirit of that Freemasonry. Let me answer about William Branham first. William Branham passed through many organizations, many churches, because he had that spirit of being Berean. So, what he learned from Roy Davis was being a Baptist, then being a Pentecostal. Can someone mute the mic? That it's very noisy. Annoying. Okay, so continuing. So when William Branham passed through them, he did not stay with them, nor did he espouse their advocacy. What was their advocacy? It's something the Masonry espouses earthly, like Rizal and Bonifacio, like the Templars before. They espouse an earthly equality of men to throw off the yoke of tyranny. Even Karl Marx have that spirit. Okay, every freedom fighter has that spirit. So everyone, you see American presidents having that. It is an earthly based religion. I call it religion because it's a set of beliefs, but that kind of set of beliefs does not necessarily reflect the Christian belief. A Christian belief that separates you from the world, but the spirit of Masonry makes you embrace the world. And William Branham has proceeded on to reveal the deep mysteries of God in the Bible. So he did not go alongside. If it's a front, the Davis group was a front for recruitment. He was not. He did not remain there. He did not remain a Baptist or a Oneness Pentecostal. He did not belong to any denominational group. His focus was on the restoration of the original apostolic teachings in the Bible. So that's the life story of William Branham. He may have passed through them. He might have got some idea from them, but not all of them, because their ideas are mostly earthbound, earthly, existentialism. So that's my short comment. And I'd like to comment also on Protestantism. During the Reformation period, there were, alongside with it came the Renaissance. Renaissance is more like a revival of the human nature, the earthly side. Like when your niece wants to enjoy the world and forget about God. When you see your children realizing, if they are not trained completely, they will realize, oh, it's very enjoyable to go out in the world. Let's enjoy nature and ignore about the training in the family or about God. So Renaissance came out at the same time as Reformation. Martin Luther was for Reformation. And at short moment, it would seem that Martin Luther, as a freedom fighter, would have a similar or parallel agenda as the Freemasons, who advocated freedom from tyranny. So there's religious tyranny, political tyranny. They sought freedom from that. Can these Masons go alongside with Protestants? Yes. Not all Protestants were sincere of God in God's words. Some, of course, they started the wars, the religious wars, but in God's plan, it protected Martin Luther and the truth that he stood for. But the rest of the people that destroyed the authority, were against authority, they were after some other things, like in the Crusades. They were not all religious. Most of them are plunderers. They only want to take some loot. And they killed women and children. So, even though in the name of Catholicism, in the name of Christianity, in the name of Christ, but it's the same thing that happened to Protestantism. From the Crusades down to the religious wars. But there's the truth of God, the rebirth of Christianity through Reformation coincides with the birth of Renaissance. The spirit of the Renaissance is the spirit here we can find in Masonry. So, Brother Nash, are you available right now for an interview, a short interview? Brother Nash. Okay.
Sorry, I got muted. So kindly give me at least few minutes because I just woke up.
Okay,
So
okay, okay. It's all right. It's all right.
okay,
Okay, just let me know if you're ready. Okay, just raise your hands. Let
okay.
me continue. So, Bar Eric, do you have any pictures of after the Templars, or all your pictures are on in America already, right? Okay. Do you know what happened to the Philippines? It wanted to be free from the Spanish yoke. Of course, America took over. But what was the spirit behind the Katipunan? We're not talking of the legitimate rebellions of prior years like Diego Silang and others. We're talking about this secret society of the Katipunan. It's the very same spirit that Rizal was influenced in when it went to Europe. Rizal was kind of a deist. When you say deist, he believes in God, but he does not he does not believe in any religious group. that. So both you and Sis Pulacopa have shared something. I'm not very familiar with all the details. Maybe you know some details that you can share. So could you repeat what you said last week?
Yeah.
Maybe you were the one who explaining about the Scottish Rite different from the American. Okay,
Yeah.
please proceed, Brother Nash. If you have any
Yep.
pictures, please share it also in your screen, okay? So that
Yep.
we could benefit to be recorded. If you have any
Um,
pictures.
so can I share screen?
Yes, yes. Please share in your screen. And if pictures you have,
Yep, I have
what
it.
you're going to say. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, please proceed. Please proceed.
Yep. Um, before I explain about the difference between Scottish Rite and York Rite, I would like to tell you guys about the Illuminati.
Yes.
This is Illuminati is a very common front line of Freemasonry. Illuminati's sole purpose is to realize the goal of Freemason to establish a new world order by infiltrating the policy-making bodies of European governments and influence from within the decision of the leaders through politics, remarking on his subversion plans against these governments' leaders. So Weishaupt said, it is therefore our duty to surround them with the Illuminati's members so that the profane may have no access to them. Thus we are able most powerfully to promote its interest. By this plan we shall direct all mankind in this manner and by the simplest means. So therefore, ang purpose of Illuminati is to manipulate the government. See? So, but the Illuminati is not the higher right of the Freemasonry. Okay? Because the higher right of Freemasonry was established by Albert Pike and Mazzini. So, uh, Pike and Mazzini signed the Constitution which created the Palladium Right on the September 18, 1870. It was to be the universal right of Freemasonry, which would over uh, arc of all other rights, even the different national rights. It would centralize all high Masonic bodies in the world under one head, Lucifer, while Pike and Mazzini. So this is the Palladium right, the highest right of Freemasonry. So uh, and under this organization, auxiliary organization, Mafia, Ku Klux Klan, the Shrine, Daughter of the Nile, White Shrine, Order of the Eastern Star, and other demolitions, they are just only under by the Palladium right. Okay, so because the what happened is there's a separation between uh, the York right and the Scottish Rite. So that's why they established a a higher right, so they can reorganize and um to 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 maintain what they establish from the day one. So that's the purpose of putting a higher right in a Freemason. So let's see who is Albert Pike. So Albert Pike is a 33-degree Grandmaster. So he's a Freemason. Okay. Um, and let's see who is Mazzini. So Guasipi Mazzini. uh, a young Italy the young Italy organization took an almost impossible goal, overpowering monarchy and the Pope. To this, the group not only went into the shadow, but it began supporting itself by robbing banks, forcing Masons to pay ransom money, and even recruiting completely unknown groups, better known as the Mafia. The name was an acronym for Mazzini Autorofisa Forti Insedi and Tentati, translated into English, Mazzini authorized theft, arson, and kidnapping. So the word mafia is an acronym and came from the name Mazzini o Guasipa Mazzini. So those are uh, the head of the new higher and the most higher right in Freemasonry. So that's why they become the pillar of Freemasons. So let's move on.
Okay, so thank you for your input. And so Masonry that started out in the past was thriving in the shadows, sought to change governments, and the greatest government they've produced is the government in America. So the spirit behind Freemasonry is the spirit behind America today. Now there was a time it followed some Christian principles, but many churches did not
I would like
realize.
to add another.
Yes, yes.
Sorry. This is for the last. Okay. So when we say America, we know that America came from the name Amerigo. It was named by
Yes.
Christopher Columbus
Yes.
because Amerigo is also a great explorer. But
Yes.
when um when you read the secret teachings of all ages coming from Manly Pihol is a 33-degree grandmaster. No? According to his book, uh, America or the plum serpent, who is the messenger of the sun, he was the god of Quetzalcoatl in Mexico, and in Peru he was called Amaru. From the letter name comes our word America. Amaruca is literally translated land of the plum serpent. So the meaning of America is the land of the plum serpent according to their um uh
Claim.
yeah, according to their claim,
Claim
not only for their claim, according to their Masonic
narrative. Yes.
pillars like Manly Pihol.
Okay.
Manly Pihol is one of the pillar of Freemasonry in America.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you for that additional information. There's a spirit in America today, and we're gonna see that in the light of Bible prophecy. So many Christians think. So, by Eric, could you flash the basic pictures about America? Let's give further proof about the founding fathers. So you see Washington. Okay, flash Washington. That's about prophecy. Later we're gonna talk about prophecy. So let's flash about some backgrounds of American Masonry. So that's the Templars. Let's move on to America. How many pictures do you have about American Masonry? Who has the dog? Please mute. Please mute your mic if you have a dog. Okay. So okay. Please flash a picture about George Washington as a Freemason. Make it full screen. Okay. Thank you. You look the founding fathers, not yet the dollar bill. Let's go one by one. You see that picture is about George Washington laying down a cornerstone. So he's using Masonic rites to lay down the cornerstone. What was that cornerstone? Could be building in the Capitol. Okay, so you see an apron there. The apron he's wearing, those are the symbolisms of Masonry. Many Christians do not realize that. Okay, let's move on. Of course, he's quoting scriptures, and some churches quote the founding fathers as Christians. Yes, but it's combined with Masonry. Okay, so let's move on to other pictures of our of the founding fathers of the United States. That's the money. Okay, so those are American Freemasons. So you have a picture there. You can research that in Google. But most importantly, um, their origins are more than just Christians. Actually, it was the Christians who originally started the community in America. But later, when the government started, it is in the background is Masonry. Much like in the Star Wars, there's the Dark Overlord, but they did not know he was a Sith. So it's the same thing as this. In America, everyone thought everyone was a Christian in Christian principles, but they didn't know there's a deeper agenda behind it. There's a deeper agenda behind it. Later, going to talk about that. Let's look at the money. Look at the dollar bill. It shows evidence. Please close your video. Look at the dollar bill. In the dollar bill, you see the pyramid, the all-seeing eye. Look at the letters at the bottom. Novus Ordo Seclorum. New World Order. Seclorum is world. Ordo is order. Novus is new. New
Yep.
World Order.
Did
So,
you count the blocks? How many blocks are there in a unfinished pyramid?
no. Could you tell us?
Yeah,
Could you tell
if you
us?
count the blocks, it has 72 blocks. That is equivalent to 72 demons of Solomon.
Okay, thank you.
And
So,
the number MC, if you read the uh, LXX V1 VI, that is equivalent to 1776.
that's the date of the independence,
Yeah,
American United
independence.
States
Yep,
declaring
and
independence.
and same date when 76 1776, same date when Adam Weishaupt established the Illuminati.
Whoa, all at the same time. So Weishaupt was in Europe. This spirit alongside was happening in America. Whether they're conscious of it or not, of course, some other conspiracy theorists will claim they're conscious, even up to the World Trade Center. But I'll say this is in the spirit realm, not necessarily in well, they're all conscious about this. But there's a spirit driving them. They don't know what it is. So let's finish up all other illustrations by Eric. In so we
Uh, br-
saw the
br-
dollar bill. Okay, yes.
brother Francis, a while ago, Brother Nas pointing, is it 1976, Brother Nas?
1776.
1776.
1976
No,
No,
from
no, no.
1776.
MDCC LXXVC 1.
Yes,
That's not.
MD is
1776.
19,
1776.
CC is
1776.
1776.
Yeah.
So I have I have a source here. If you read my illustration, George Washington reached the top level of the Masons on August 4, 1953, securing the leadership of the Influence Lodge in Alexandria, Virginia. Washington was not alone among the uh, founders. Some scholars say as many as 21 singers declared the independence were Mason. Many historians note that the Constitution of the Bill of Rights both seem to be heavy influenced the Masonic civil religion, which focused the freedom, free enterprise, and a limited rule for the state. That's
Okay.
in August 4, 1753, where George Washington reached the top level of being a Masons.
Yes, bro, but it was not on America yet. Um, because George Washington, before he become um head of the state or president, there are 14 American presidents before George Washington. Okay?
Maybe we
Okay.
can change the word president from leaders.
No,
14 American leaders.
there's 14 American presidents before George Washington.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe we should to expose that. If we use
yeah.
the word president, before they became independent, of course, they were a British colony. Please explain how you use the word president before Washington, because he was acclaimed to be the first president of the United States.
Yeah.
You say
First
there are
president
14 presidents of the United States, or not, maybe not yet United
that
States, America.
that is not yet United States. Yeah.
Okay. So
Uh,
you use the word president. Maybe you can expound on that for a
yeah.
short moment.
Hang on. I'll give you the details.
That I will use the word leader. Okay. There could be 14 leaders before George Washington as leader of the, of course, because of the Masonic conspiracy. So, so are you ready, Brother Nash?
Hang on.
Okay. So that's why I would
Brother
not use the
Francis,
word president so as not to confuse
Bro-
others.
No.
Brother
I'm not
Francis,
confusing, but I'll give you now the names. Okay. This is
brother,
not a secret information. They knew it already. Yep. This is
Yes,
not a
you
secret
may expound it
information.
here right now.
Yep.
Our time might be running out.
Okay.
Okay.
So the America's 14 forgotten presidents before George Washington. So let me share my
What you discovered, your discovery, what you
yep.
research.
So did you see my share screen?
Could you blow it up? Make it full screen.
Yeah, this is the full
Okay.
screen actually.
No, full
Uh,
screen means the view its surrounding will disappear. Or you
no,
can view maybe you can click the
no, I'm
magnifying
just
glass.
I am using PC right now. So this is the full screen. So I can't do
Okay.
nothing. So
You can
but
highlight them and
yep,
blow
I
it up.
can read the details. So
Okay.
America's
Just
14th
mention.
forgotten president before George Washington. So si
Okay.
Peyton Randolph, 1774 to 1775, and Henry Middleton, 1774, and then 1775, John Hancock to 1777. So to make it short, Thomas Milfield, 1783, and George Washington is 1789 to 97. So
Okay.
the 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 creator of dollar and the designer, not George Washington. Who designed this dollar is Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the founding fathers of America before George Washington, and it
Okay.
is included also in American history. Okay,
Okay. Okay. So
okay.
that's a very good
So,
information. Yes.
yep. So these founding fathers, um, if you read the letters that George Washington wrote to um, Adam Weishaupt, these founding fathers also helped Adam Weishaupt to establish the New World Order, which is the America.
Okay. So eventually, manifest destiny, they will become a superpower and influence the world. Not directly as a government, but through democracy, democratization of the world. But there's a demon behind democratization.
Yeah.
It could be used
So
by God, could also be used by the devil.
yeah, but
That's
actually the Freemason before they call themselves as a Templars, right? Then after Templar in a Roslin Chapel in Scotland, so you can see their initiation there in the Roslin Chapel. Um, but they are hunted by the church, so that's why they have to leave their name behind the Templars, so they have to change their name. So
yes,
from
they've changed
from
their name.
from Templars, they become Mason, not Freemason. They become Mason. But then
Okay.
when in a 17th century, they changed the name into Freemason or Premesen. The
Yes,
Premesen
yes.
means a son of light or as the son of fire. According to Max Hindel. Max Hindel is also a 33-degree Grand Mason, Grand Master. So Premesen, a son of fire and light, will surely feel the sting of the scorpion in his heel, which his goal him onward upon the path where men before wise and as a serpent. So therefore, Premesen means the son of fire or the son of light means Luciferian.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you for that information. We have 30 minutes to left to go. I have to talk about prophecy right now. And before we go to that part, Brother Eric, please flash the layout of the Washington D.C. grid, the pentagram.
Just
Because
for the last one. So
okay, okay,
before I go, let me share you this. Okay. As a Catholic, we have a papal bull. So this is according to our papal bull, the declaration of the Catholic Church. The church
PayPal
negative
bill.
judgment in a regard to Masonic association remains unchanged since their principles have always been considered irreconcilable with the doctrine of the church, and therefore membership in them remains forbidden. So kapag ang Catholic or the Catholic Church, the Catholic member, um, they become member of Freemason, they are automatically excommunicated. The faithful who enroll in Masonic associations are in a state of grave sin and may not receive the Holy Communion. This is Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith, Declaration on Masonic Association, 1983 by Joseph Ratzinger, which is now known as Pope Benedict the 16th. Okay, thank you so much.
I have a question before you go, Brother Nash.
Okay then.
I heard from Boy Cordero, a visitor in our local assembly, that the Catholic Church is infiltrated by them, whether they call it Illuminati or Freemason. It has infiltrated the Catholic Church, and one day they will install their own pope.
No,
So
that's not gonna happen because the Catholic Church, um, if you can see, um,
Well,
uh,
anyway, I just
our Pope, Pope John Paul the First, when become the Pope during his time, I think this is 1960s or 70s. We- When he became the pontiff of the Roman church, after day one, when he knew that there are Freemason lodge inside the or near in the Vatican. So that's why he demolished all the Freemason lodges inside and outside the Vatican. And then after 33 days of his pontificate, he was murdered. See? Because
Si Pope John Paul, ano yan, 6 ano yan? Ano ba yan?
yeah, that is Pope John
John
Paul the
Paul
First.
first. Yes, I heard
Pope
about
John
that.
Paul.
So
So there's a
there's
there's a fight. There's a
conspiracy.
fight. Yeah, there's a fight between the church. This is an ancient
I,
fight, actually,
yes, yes, I
starting
know, I
from
know.
the
I agree, I
Templars.
agree, I agree. So
Yeah,
so now when the whole world becomes one, uh, I believe they will also get a compromise with them. There will be
I
a compromise.
I
So
don't think so because we have a papal bull. This is accurate. This papal bull is coming from uh, Joseph Ratzinger. So this is a congregation for the doctrine of the faith declaration on Masonic Association 1983, which is the church negative judgment. So we have already judged the Freemason association.
okay,
So
okay. Thank you for your input.
okay,
I understand that. I'd like because we have few minutes left. I have
Mm.
to share my side of
Mm.
the point.
Bro, anong tawag dito? Uncle Nash.
okay, thank you so much.
The Catholic Church excommunicated if you they know that you are a member of a Freemason lodge.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. Uh, so let me just share a little bit of my thought on that. Externally, there there can be dissociations, different doctrines. Outwardly, it can appear that we are not one with you, but the papacy also hosts a movement of ecumenism, ecumenical movement. That means to say, we all belong to one world. We recognize each other. So recognize the Muslims. There's Chrislam today. We recognize the Orthodoxy. We even recognize the Protestant brethren. And there's a secret agreement within themselves to help each other. So if the world governments will be controlled by the Freemasons, secretly, not openly, then there will be a world agreement also in uniting the world into one. Okay? So let's go back to prophecy. So because
Um,
we have a few minutes left.
can I answer that and then I'll be going. So
Okay. Okay.
about the orthodoxy. So Catholic Church composed by five rites. We have Alexandrian rites, Armenian rites, Syriac rite, Latin rite, and Byzantine rite. So those four rites, aside from the Latin rites, they are all Orthodox. And the Latin rites are known as the RCC. So we are already established from the day one of Christianity. See, we have only separated during the 10th century. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
why the Catholic Church want to gain again what we lost before. So we want
Yes.
to embrace what we have started before. So that's why we keep continuing um uh uniting each others. So
Yes, yes,
because
yes.
if you read the Yuri Sui Yuris, we have a common goal, and we are in the same church, but
Okay.
not the Muslim. When we talk about the Muslim, we just only talk about the peace, because Muslim killed the Christians. So, but first, I would like to say this. I would like to read this from the book Merchant in the Temple, Inside Pope Francis' Secret Battle Against the Corruption in the Vatican. So, in this book, it is the afternoon of September 12, 1978. Pope John Paul I, after the only 18 days of his pontificate, discovered that the powerful Masonic lobby with 120 members is active within the Korea. The news is disconcerting. Rather than abiding the words of the gospel, cardinals, bishops, and senior clerics are beholden to the vows of the Brotherhood of Freemasons. An intolerable situation. So on September 19, the new pontiff started to draft a plan for radical reform of the Korea. He 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 excommunicated those who members of the Freemasons. In the late afternoon of September 28, John Paul I summons the Secretary of State, the powerful Cardinal Jean-Marie Villot, in the to inform him of the changes he wishes to implement, which is the excommunication. He was prepared at least for the senior cardinals dismissed. So he dismissed all the cardinals and excommunicated. At the top of the list, Paul Casimir, Monsignor, and other. So if you read this, after his 33 days of pontificate, he was killed.
Okay.
So he,
Yes,
he
yes. Thank
was
you for the
murdered.
information.
Yep.
I
So
heard about that
this
before.
is this is to show you guys. This is to show you that the fight between Mason and the Catholic Church is not end yet.
Yes, yes,
We
that's
still
true.
keep
That's
on
true.
fighting.
So, but that's also a proof of infiltration. The fact that he was killed. Okay. So let us continue. We're gonna go to a wider scope right now because we have few minutes left. We have less than 30 minutes left. I need to show the biblical prophecy regarding that. So let's open our Bibles to Revelation 13. But Brother Eric, please flash the picture in the Bible about Revelation 13.
Apocalyptic revelation.
So in Revelation 13, there's a beast that came out of the sea, and there's the beast that came out of the earth. So could you use the picture? Do you have a picture of that, Brother Eric? The beast that came out of the sea, that is the old world. That is the world the Bible knows. It when you read in the Bible the Great Sea, it talks about the Mediterranean Sea. The Mediterranean Sea is the Mediterranean world. So you see that's the beast that came out of the sea.
Huh?
Oh, go back to the picture. Go back to the picture. The beast that came out of
Oh.
the sea. Could you? I can hear others talking. Could you mute your microphone? Could you mute your microphone? So it would not be recorded because we're broadcasting. It's being recorded. Okay, so let's go back to our picture. So the beast that came out of the sea, that's the old world. That's from Europe. Okay, please close your video. So it will not be shown in the series broadcast. Now, there's a beast that came out of the earth. Do you have a picture of that, Brother Eric? No. The beast that came out of the earth, that's the nation of. It did not draw too much. Okay. The beast that came out of the earth, you can blow it up, Brother Eric. That is
Is
America.
is that the second beast you're talking about,
Yes, yes.
or the
The
first
second
beast?
beast came. The first beast came out of the sea. The second
Okay.
beast came out of the earth. So
Okay.
there are different continents. The first beast came from the first continent, and they were devastated by wars. That's why in Revelation 13 it says, uh, that's why in Revelation 13 it says, the beast was wounded unto death. Okay. Now the second beast will resuscitate or revive or restore the power of the first beast before him. Who is the second beast? The second beast is the nation of America. And where did America get the word democracy and republicanism? They got it from Rome and Greece. What is the spirit in Rome and Greece? The spirit in Rome is world domination. The spirit in Greece is the democracy, what people want. What people want. In the Bible, in the end time, in the last church age, the spirit in Laodicea, what does Laodicea mean? Laodicea means people's rights, people's will. So, the spirit of Laodicea is hedonism, humanism, existentialism, worldliness. In Revelation chapter 3, verse 14 downwards, they say we are rich, we are plenty, we have plenty, we have need of nothing. That's the spirit of democracy and republicanism. That's why in the first seal there's a white horse and it had the bow and it went for conquering. It's the spirit of Rome and the spirit of Greece. It's a worldly spirit. These two, there was a time these were two world empires. These world empires also brought the spirit of Babylonianism. The Babylon Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greek Empire, and the Roman Empire. That's the spirit behind this worldly spirit, and this worldly spirit is in Masonry, in deism. It's like we're no longer concerned about religious beliefs. We're concerned only about earthly affairs. So let's have a brotherhood of all mankind, whatever you believe. What is the spirit now in America? If you can flash the picture of Hollywood, America is poisoning the whole world today. There was a time America was used by God. That's why in Revelation 13 it was called a lamb. So it had the horns of a two horns of a lamb, but it speaks like a dragon. So this lamb represents Christianity, but speaking like a dragon. Now it's being ridden over by the spirit of Masonry, which was behind it in the first place. So, what spirit was it espousing? First, there was this women's liberation, racial. Of course, some of their concerns were godly, but not all of them are godly. So we have human rights. We have Martin Luther King espousing racial equality. They went further from that. Then there are lesbian rights, gay rights,
Can I ask you a
LGBTQ
question, brother?
community. Let me finish a little bit. There's the abortion rights today, and it's spreading all over the globe. Other countries are adopting it. They're adopting same-sex marriages. Okay. Who is to ask a question? Is it Brother Nash?
Yes, it's me.
Okay.
So, do you agree about the separation of states and church?
Well, there is a right and wrong way of looking at it. That I would say
So what
even
is
Protestants in the Philippines are even deceived
yes?
by separation of
What is
church and state.
okay? Okay. What
Uncle
is
Nas, can I join your explanation about the Revelation 13 in the following
yes? Yes.
verse? I prove that
Yes.
there is no America, no mention that verses. And it's not a prophecy for America.
Okay, thank you for your
So,
comment.
yes. No, I begin or
It's okay.
Okay,
sige,
let us
So
okay.
continue because our time will be running out. We have 10
Okay,
20
yeah.
okay,
minutes to
sige.
go. We have 10
If
20
you
After
minutes
you
to go.
believing
after you talk, then I give a view about the Revelation 13:1 and the following verse.
okay. So
Let
brother Francis. So
okay, okay.
if you believe and agreeing in a separation of states and church, because you said that there's bad and or
Good.
negative and positive outcome.
Yes, yes.
So
Yes.
what is the negative outcome on your side? On your side. So can you tell me?
The negative outcome is the spirit of masonry, the spirit of deism, the spirit of hedonism, the spirit
Okay.
of they don't care about God. Whatever the people want
Okay.
is that what they
How
presume
about
to
the
be.
positive side?
The positive side, because before there were governments that were abusive, that were totalitarian, tyrannical. So they want to be free from that. That's why
Okay.
I can say the temporary separation of church and state help the lamb bear this Christianity to survive. Because
Okay.
so there was a time there's a freedom of religion. It was
Okay.
good, but it became bad. The freedom
Okay.
of religion now includes Satanism.
Okay.
It
Uh,
includes
ca-
all other
can I share
religions.
something? Can I
Yes.
share something? Okay. So you said it was a good and bad. So actually, for me, it is bad because the separation of states and church is um it is a what do you call that um it is an antichrist teachings, you know, because the separation of states and church was established by Roger Williams in America because America before they have a fight with the Jesuit because
Yes.
the church don't want to establish their country because the church knew that the America will be used by the Freemasonry. So that's why they trying to stop the America to establish
Yes.
their own country. So that's why when John F. Kennedy became the president of the United States, they they opened the issue about the Jesuit stopping and forcing the other states not to join the American country. So, anyways, that's why Roger William established the separation of states and church in order for the Catholic Church not to intervene the the what do you call
In
that
the
the
government
American
affairs, government
the
affairs.
government. So um Roger Williams is a founder of Baptist in America, and he is a Freemason. That's why there's a lodge, Roger William Lodge. So there's a hidden fight
Agenda.
between the church and the Freemasons. So if you read the Bible, Jesus tell us, "Go, make all nation my disciples." And then this guy, Roger Williams, separate the church from the state, which is Christ did not uh, allow that. So
Okay, thank you.
what Christ said, make all nation my disciples. So, and then you're gonna separate the nation from the church? How could you? See, that is an
So
antichrist teaching. Okay, so
so
hang on.
learn.
Thank you so much. So I'll be going. So thank you for the time. So
Okay. So
okay,
okay, let me add to that. We have few minutes left. prayer was thrown out of American schools, and now they are losing the debate. Well, if you have freedom of religion, then we also have freedom to be Satanists also. Why will you not allow that in school? There are biases now being exposed. So they're losing that debate. So we have the right. That's why Laodicea, people's right. So this is the spirit in America that was started in Masonry, but was not yet apparent before. That's not yet apparent in time of George Washington. Everyone was still decent. Right now, America is a hodgepodge, a cesspool of wickedness. You look at their music, you look at their movies. Some of their movies are good, but it always includes premarital sex. It always espouses freedom of relationships. Children growing up there, they don't care about virginity anymore. So it's happening also. It's infecting the whole world, even in the Philippines. That's why I've been warning those. If you don't have any protective measure, it will be a free fall for your children. Morally, it will be a free fall for your children, even for your grandchildren. Okay, let's go back to Revelation 13. The second beast. So you can, if you can share some illustration, by Eric. The second beast. So okay, show the continent of Europe. The continent of Europe. You see the Mediterranean Sea. That's the Great Sea. Where? That's Europe. Okay, that's Europe. Go back to Europe. Okay, that's Europe. Okay. In Europe, you see the Mediterranean Sea. Focus on the Mediterranean Sea. A while ago, the map was good already. You're focusing on Norway. Okay, Mediterranean Sea is below Italy. So move to other maps, Brother Eric, because the lower portion is cut off. Okay, that's the Europe. You see that? That's Mediterranean Sea. Just below it. Below the green part is Africa. The right side is the Middle East. That's the old world. That's where the first beast came out. Okay. Let's move on to the America. So this is called the beast from the sea. So the beast from the earth, oh, that's still Europe. That's still Europe. This is America. This is another beast that came out of the earth. It became a great nation, which is the United States. And it seeks to reestablish the authority of the first beast. The first beast that came from Europe, democracy and republicanism, had a defender today, which is the United States. And United States as a defender of democracy, the whole world followed in its steps. And many people wondered after the beast. How did the whole world wander after the beast? It's not an organization, it's a spirit. And this spirit from Europe that went to the United States gave life back to the first beast. And it built an image to the beast. They have an illustration of the image to the beast. Much like Nebuchadnezzar built an image of Daniel. Daniel was a prophet of God, but that image is an idol, it's a substitute. So here in America, there's freedom of religion, freedom for Christianity, but alongside with it came speaking as a dragon. So the image to the beast that which America built, it is a similar spirit to the first beast. That's why in Revelation, if any man worships the beast or his image, so the first beast, that's the beast. If anyone worships the beast. The second beast did not make itself to be worshipped, but made an image to the first beast. That image to the first beast, and this is what we have today, the hedonism we receive from America. Of course, behind the scenes, the Masons are controlling the picture, the spirit thereof, not necessarily a singular person, but in the spirit of brotherhood, equality, nation of laws, what. But the spirit behind is not the spirit of Jesus Christ. It it somewhat looks like a lamb, but it's not exactly a lamb. It speaks like a dragon because it espouses. Example, we have problems with our children today. You cannot chastise your children. Where did that spirit come from? There was a pastor who taught me, allow the young people to have their freedom, to do what they want. Give them some social life outside. So my detractor ministers, they didn't know that's the spirit of the world. What is happening to the family today? Before there was a strict family culture. The parents are strict with their children. But today there is no more strictness. Much less the offensive training for God. What is happening to the world today? It is being demonized. How is it being demonized? Not under by an authoritarian rule like in the Dark Ages. It was being demonized by this Renaissance, this spirit of hedonism, the spirit of uh, like the separation of church and state here, even here in the Philippines. Um, whatever you want to do, you do not necessarily have to follow God. You follow what the desires of your heart wants. Very familiar when some of our parents were taught, do not follow Brother Francis training for the family. Follow your own heart. That's the spirit of Masonry. That's the spirit of deism. That's the spirit of uh, what Brother Joel Madera is teaching also. The spirit that explore your, there's as though the devil does not exist in this world. So they did not recognize what's happening to the deterioration of morality in the whole world. From Elvis Presley to the Beatles to the rock bands today. Look at the music we have today, the rap music, Andrew E. and many others. America to the Philippines to other parts of the globe. What do you have in Korea? Those women bands, boy bands. They've become idols. They're literal idols that substitutes God. Even though their followers would claim they believe in God, but it brings them out. It infects the whole world. China, Korea. It's only the Muslim and North Korea that are just still conservative. But also they're also being corrupted today. That's the spirit. And it will end one day. It will end one day in the tribulation. Our time is almost up. So we're going to continue this question and answer in Tagalog after 8:30. Can I request someone to give us a closing prayer? I prepare the music. Of course, before we end, I'd like to say, what is the plan of God? God will have a world government also. But this Masonry is establishing a world government. But America is not conquering them to be like a world empire. America conquered them with bow with no arrows because of this lukewarm spirit in the world. They conquered it by its culture, by its American culture. So, what is the plan of God? God's message is to be separate from the world, and one day He's gonna destroy the world, and He's gonna call the true believers to rule the world in the millennium. Okay, so much for that. Please give us a closing prayer. Anyone?
Brother Francis, we have 6 minutes. Then, can I have one question?
Yes, yes.
So, is it the Freemason fulfilling the scripture of the kings of the earth?
Yes, yes. But because the two prophet will disrupt the, if you can show a flash picture of that, the two prophets will disrupt the order of the world, so that after the discrediting of the papacy in Jerusalem, Europe and China, or led by China, will prepare for war. This apocalyptic war, this Armageddon, will be centered on taking over Jerusalem. I failed to mention, Masonry also recognizes the rebuilding of the temple for the rest, but the man of sin will sit upon it first. So they also recognize there will be a government in Jerusalem, but they seek to unite the world with not under Jesus Christ, but under another belief, like really like tolerance, the wrong religious tolerance. Okay, so okay, please, they are against bigotry, but in the way that they try to remove bigotry is pushing it on the other extreme. Okay, so please give us a closing prayer, Brother Eric.
Okay, thank you, Lord, for this wonderful day. Thank you for the almost 2 hours live streaming about the Masonic America. Thank you for the revelation. Thank you for the information. Thank you for each and every one of us partake this topic, and may you give us more hungering about the truth, about the background, why there is influence. So we believe, Lord, that this world is you created is for your Son Jesus Christ, but there is a creature that want to own this earth. And I believe that the restoration by your Son will fulfilled in our time, Lord God, before the coming of your Son Jesus Christ. Thank you, and bless each one of us. All these things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
So God is moving in the last days to call out a bride for His name, and they will rule the world. We'll close it after the music. God is calling out people for His name in end times to see this. Please celebrate.
Are we still live?
Yes, yes, we're still live.
To Guatemala, from Russia to China. Get ready to see what God is doing all over the world. And now, may I have the lights, please?